Okay, let's watch then. Hela, what map is this? Spider Islands. Cool.
We need to stop that vehicle in its tracks.
Okay, so just first things first. You know, just walk out. I wouldn't bother dealing with him. If you are going to, try and use your bird up on this high ground because none of this you can stand on, which is deceiving. You generally on Hela, you want to start off on a main angle like this, and then you want to come up here and try and take an off angle. An off angle is simply just an angle that is away from the main angle. So main angle is generally where the whole team is, like this. And an off angle would be something like up here or down here. It's just any different angle from the main one.
Anyone willing to help? Better stop that vehicle!
I want your soul! I am barely harmed.
They traded halfway! Stop them! You're on our team now, Zero.
Okay, so what I'm seeing is you rush a lot of your cooldowns a lot of the time. You're clearly quite new to the game, I think. So when you're playing against dive characters, okay, so Iron Fist, Star-Lord, stuff like that, you want to be saving your stun for when they go in on you. You really can only use it then. It's best not to just throw it across the map like that. It's not really worth doing. You generally want to use it to stop people like dive characters from engaging or disengaging. So I'll give you an example of that.
No escape from hell.
So here the Star-Lord is in your face. Obviously he doesn't want to be there because you have the advantage at close range. This is where you would want a stun because it makes him stand still and then you could kill him. Again, don't ignore him because you have to take the 1v1s of DPS. You can also cancel your bird. You flying here would be a good cancel because your supports can see you, but if you fly too far, you're going to be in this Iron Fist danger zone. Just like so. And now you have no escape. Now, you also can't really be using the bird like this. Like, you're not in danger here. You only really want a bird when you're not getting healed and you're going to die. Okay, because both of these things, the fact that you use the stun too early, so you couldn't use it on the Star-Lord, and then also birding away when you didn't need to, away from your supports, is what got you killed.
I am barely harmed.
To counter Iron Fist, all you have to do is shoot him once or twice, just shoot him a few times, and then when he starts blocking, do not shoot him, because that heals him. Wait for the block to run out, then shoot, stun, shoot. Do not stun him when he's blocking. Okay, so generally on this point, again, we're on a main angle here, so what I want to see you doing is taking an off angle, okay? Hela is all about taking off angles and hitting good shots. So you would want to fly all the way up here and try and poke some shots down onto their team from here. Okay. And then when they start getting aggressive on you, you can drop onto the point when they dive you.
Resistance is futile.
Nice. You're also rushing your shots a lot, okay? Don't just hold down the shoot button, right? Okay, just be a bit more patient with your shots and slow it down a bit. Because Hela does crazy damage. So let's say you rush like 5 shots and you hit one of them, and you'd slow down and hit 2. Slowing down and hitting 2 is way better because of the amount of damage she does. Again, this isn't... I'm not a huge fan of this angle, like it's okay, but it's just super close to them and they can rush you down, okay? A way better place is something that's hard. Well, the Star-Lord's here actually. But again, you would want to be on this building or on this plateau here or just on this high ground here because you can see more and it's a further distance from where they come to hit you, okay? So they would have to come from this doorway here, walk all the way across, jump up, and hit you here. And by then your team will have messed them up. However, if you play here, they can literally come out the door, turn right, and just run you down.
Better stop that vehicle.
Okay, you should be able to hit the Star-Lord.
There's still
So you need to start shooting him.
a chance to stop them.
Reload, okay? If you don't have a lot of ammo and there's no reason to be shooting, just reload.
They hit a checkpoint. Now might be a good time to
Nice.
stop them.
Okay, it's your job to shoot this Star-Lord. Okay, you're like the only person on your team other than the Adam Warlock who can kill this Star-Lord. It is your job to try and shoot him out the air whenever he's not looking at you. Otherwise, look, he's gonna kill your team.
I am ready to put on a show.
Star-Lord in his ult can't move in any crazy directions or do anything too crazy, so he's a very easy kill.
Here's this life.
Rise, my friends! Bless me.
Here's this life.
Second chances. You weren't invisible to me, Mrs. Richards.
Again, a lot of these shots are super rushed for no reason, okay? The reason I'm saying they're rushed is because you're not being challenged by anyone right now, okay? No one is in your face, no one's fighting you, you're peacefully at the back of the map. So just take your time and hit your shots, okay? Maybe lower your sensitivity a little bit as well, or go in some aim training, because I'm not saying your aim, just obviously everybody's aim could be better, but I see like sometimes you hit really good shots and then sometimes you completely whiff, and I think that's just like you panic your shots and rush them a lot. Because I've seen you hit really good shots like on the Mantis and so on.
This'll be a joyride with me around.
So yeah, it's all just patience here. Like, as soon as you saw that your crosser was somewhat closer, you shot, but you need to wait till it's on her. Also, it doesn't hurt to stun to just make her stand still, just throw a stun at her.
A brief taste of hell.
Double KO.
Why would I need healing?
They look like they mean business.
Find that
Better
soul.
stop that vehicle.
This is fine, it's a nice angle. However, again, try and put I need healing and get your heals up. Also, you should just come in this room and try and kill the backline. Holding this room is a power position, okay? A power position is something that everybody wants to own, because if you own this room, you can see all the way out there where the supports have to play, and you can see here where the tanks want to hide. So generally, if you can get control of this room for even 5 seconds, you may be able to get a free kill.
They've made it halfway. Stop them.
Little spiders.
Because this is when you know you need to move. There's nobody in your line of sight, and it's your job to flank and kill. I personally, because I've like really good aim, I always like to take this angle here and just try and pot shot the backline here. I think this is a great flank to come around here. You just shoot the backline, and the reason this is good really is because for the supports to get to cover, they either have to run all the way basically at you and then come around this corner, or they're forced into a tiny room where your team has entire line of sight on. So it's really great to take this angle, and sometimes what will happen is the tanks will walk up and take a fight here at this kind of ridge, and whilst you're shooting the supports, the tanks don't realize, they stop getting healed as the supports back up, and suddenly the tanks die. That's called good timing.
I want your soul.
You don't want to shoot tanks that much. Okay, it's okay to shoot tanks, it's not a bad idea, but you have your ultimate right now, so you don't need ult charge. So what you should be trying to do, instead of getting like just ult charge when you don't need it, because no point shooting them, you should try and kill the squishies. A bit too aggressive, you might die. Okay. When you do ult like this, when a Magnet ults, don't start shooting, just sit there, because otherwise you're just charging his ultimate. See, look, all of your bullets, you're just feeding this Magneto's ult. Look. See? So it just wasn't great. When you go into Hela ult, you honestly don't want to be low. Unless you know your supports are going to heal you, okay? When you go into a Hela ult, it's okay to use it how you use it, but it's only going to work if you tell your supports to heal you when you drop, okay? It won't work any other way.
Immortality. Find that
A little help, please.
Be careful now, because you've walked really far into their team, and you really don't want to stagger right now, okay? Look where you are in comparison to everyone else. It's a bit risky. I like this. This is a good angle. You're close to cover and a health pack. Nice. You focused up on the last shots, yeah. Just, don't panic your shots.
Shall I?
This is a good angle. You should stay here, because they have to come where that Star-Lord is, pretty much. You can hear the penny to the right.
They hit a checkpoint. Now might be the time to stop them. Good news. I want our soul.
Okay, so you've capped the payload now. Okay, this is important. You need to start recognizing when to move up. I'm seeing that you stay in positions for way too long that are way too passive, okay? You've capped the point. It is now your job to go and take a relevant off angle. Okay, you are an irrelevant off angle right now because everything you shoot at here doesn't matter. They were going to die anyway. None of it matters. What you need to be doing is taking an angle that is actually important for the bigger fight, which is going to happen over here. So I would come up here, right? Or I would play down in this left room. But me personally, I would be flanking here. I'd take some good shots. Okay, and then I would bird out and spam I need healing. I mean, if I get dove, but it's best to just take a couple flanks. Make sure when you do flank, you're within bird's range of safety, okay? Because if you were to get dove by the Star-Lord or the Iron Fist, you need a way of, like, getting out to safety. So make sure if you were to come up to this angle here, up here, you shoot a bit, but you pay attention to the divers, because if they dive you, you need to tell your supports, if I get dove, I'm going to need healing. It's important to be in communication with your supports.
Feels like living.
See? Holding that angle just wasn't worth it.
I've got you covered. What am I? Invisible? We are undefeatable!
Don't waste stun.
Follow.
You could have killed the Star-Lord, by the way. Hela is better at close range than Star-Lord.
What am I? Invisible?
So, it would have just been... You have your stun, so shoot, stun, shoot, shoot.
We are
You didn't need to back up there.
undefeatable!
Especially when there was an invisible next to you.
Healing. Why would I need healing?
It's party time! I am ready to put on a show!
So again, this angle, right, is just irrelevant. Okay? What I'm talking about in a relevant angle is one where you can generally see the backline or the supports. Because on Hela, you can 2-tap from across the map, and you can put insane pressure on. So if this is me, again, look at this angle, right? What do you see? Well, you see a support. Now what do you see on this angle? Nothing, right? So always try to take an angle that opens you up to shooting squishies, whilst also being in a safe area, okay? Because if you are here, you can just bird straight back to the spawn or to your supports. But what you can do is get a free kill on a support here. This is what differs good and bad Hellas. Good Hellas, like in pro play, if you watch the pros play, will always take good flanks, line up their shots, and kill backline.
Rise, my friends!
As expected.
Good aim. But again, she's in a lunar ult, so
Find that.
again, just not a good angle, right? We're not really looking at anything right now, okay? But if you walk right here, what can you see? Right? Look at this angle here. This is where their supports are playing. Right now you're doing nothing.
Here's this life.
Too aggressive. Okay? Make sure when you're low HP like this, where is your bird? Nowhere safe. Your bird is not going to take you anywhere safe. If you bird this way, they're just going to shoot you. You need to stay next to this doorway so you can just bird out the doorway and break line of sight. Your bird has to break line of sight from the enemy. Otherwise, they will just shoot the bird at the end and it will kill you when you come out of it. Especially in a scenario like this where you can even save your invisible one. Good. Stay here. Okay. If you're in a situation like this, you could have just birded to this health pack here. Okay, there is a health pack back here. But that's just a pathing error, obviously, because you should have birded to your left. Make sure you always have a plan when you flank. When you flank, you need to know where is my escape. Okay, especially playing against dive like this, you need to know, like, I'm taking an angle, and it's kind of like a checklist. Like, on this list, you want to be checking off 3 things. Number 1. Do I have a safe escape to support, health pack, or cover? Number 2, is this angle too passive? Is it an irrelevant angle? Am I looking at nothing right now? Right? Because it needs to be relevant. This needs to be a relevant angle. It needs to be looking at something that is going to get value for your team. I'll give you an example again. Right? Let's say we're pushing here. If you're sat back here in the choke and all you can see is the tank, imagine there's a tank there. There you go. Doing damage to that tank is really not going to do a lot. Now it may, let's say that the supports are being distracted, because there's 2 types of Hela gameplays. There's a flanking Hela, and then there's kind of an anchor Hela, okay? Now an anchor Hela is someone who kind of plays with the team, but to do that you need to be hitting a lot of headshots and just pushing back tanks all the time with headshots. And I don't think that style is really great until you get really good aim. The flanking style, however, allows you to take an angle, be patient with your aim, and line up the shots a lot easier, and it's better for beginners. In value. It is definitely easier to just sit with your team and shoot. However, the amount of value you get from doing that will only really ever be worth it if you have amazing headshot aim. So you're just constantly headshotting tanks and pushing them back. But if you're not doing that, it's way better to take a flank and try and kill a support or a squishy.
A little help.
So yeah, just to clarify, checklist is number 1, where's my escape? Is it, can I escape to supports or a health pack or cover? Number 2, is it relevant? Is my angle really doing anything? And number 3, pay attention. When you do take the flank, don't rush. Make sure you're not rushing your shots. And make sure you have a good idea of where your threats are, of who can threaten you. Who is going to contest you on this angle you're taking. So in this case, who can contest you? Star-Lord, Iron Fist. Good. Perfect. Obviously, when you do, always go for squishies and you're all perfect. Just a tip, always call out for healing when you're Hela. Always say my Hela ult runs out in 3, 2, 1, so that your supports know they need to be looking in your area to heal you. It will save you a lot.
Why would I need healing?
Okay, so this is just a question for you when you're watching this. Where do you want to be now? So the fight has ended. Once the fight ends, that is position time, right? That is, let's get ready. Where on the map should you be getting ready? I'll let you think about it for a second. I'm going to show you the 2 places. Okay. Number 1. This angle here. Now, why is this angle good? Well, similar to the angle I showed you at the start, really, is for them to contest you, they have to fly in front of your team, because this is the main angle, right? Wherever the payload pushes is your main angle. That is your objective. So for them to get back here, they need to jump through your team, which is bad for them and good for you, because for you, you can simply just bird back to your team. Easy safety. For them, they can't. Now, this is the first angle. Now, another good angle, however, a much riskier angle, okay, especially playing against this comp, would be you would back up, hit the jump pad, and this is an amazing angle of Hela, but you just got to be really careful, because if you get dove, you may die, is this one. And obviously, you can tell why this is good, because the supports will always be playing in this area when the payload is over here, or when it walks up. Obviously, what is the danger here? Well, none of your team is here, right? You can't bird to your teammates in this angle. You can bird back here and maybe get to the health pack, but it's just a lot more dangerous against Iron Fist Star-Lord, because when you do bird, they will just chase you down. So this angle is good if you are very confident in your aim, but if you aren't, I would definitely recommend a much safer but still powerful angle like this one up here, because it's close to your team, yet it's still dangerous for the enemy team to push you, and it still is going to give you line of sight onto the supports, right? And if the supports need to hide, right, if you start shooting them, they're going to sit around this corner, and guess what's happening as you keep these supports around this corner? Their tanks are dying because they're getting no healing up here. That is what's amazing about that angle.
I got your back.
It's now.
Really glad to see it. Good. Now be patient. Okay. I wouldn't peek this yet, because your team is not ready for it. Okay. This is now timing. We're going to get into the concept of timing. Timing, there's 3 types of timing. There's early timing, good timing, and late timing. Good is right in the middle. Early timing would be this, right? Would be showing yourself when the fight hasn't started yet. Now, why is this bad? Well, it's bad because they can all look at you and it doesn't do anything to them, right? It's not going to harm them in any way to look at you. It's not a disadvantage for them, right? Like, they can all look at you and heal their teammates, and it doesn't matter because there isn't a fight going on yet, right? Now, good timing would be you wait for these tanks to start fighting your team, okay? Wait for the tanks, right? Let them walk up, start beefing your team, right? Getting into a big fight. Once that starts happening, that is when you would want to come out this angle and start shooting the supports, okay? Because that means whilst the tanks are distracted fighting your team and the DPS are off fighting your backline, these supports are left here. And you can peek and start shooting at them, and once you start shooting at them, they will hide. And what happens all the way up to eternity is once you force the supports to hide or kill them, the tanks never realize. None of them pay attention. And so you do that, and suddenly the tanks aren't getting healed, and they just die on the front line, and they're like blaming their supports, and they're going to get all toxic with their team. But really, there was nothing the supports could do because you're holding them back on a character that can 2-tap. That is good timing. Now, late timing is pretty self-explanatory. It's simply just you engage when the fight's already over, or when it's too late and your teammates are dead. So there's a fine line between them, but you'll get used to it. And it's very easy to notice. So for now, I would get full HP and just wait. Because as you can see, look, their Penny can do this. Their Penny would never have done this if you didn't show yourself. But the reason she can do this is because the fight hasn't started yet. This would never have happened if you'd waited for their team to fight yours. And now you've lost the angle and you've got no cooldowns. Good shots. That's what I mean. You do have good aims sometimes, but I feel like you just panic your shots when it's at a long range. Don't fly into a penny trap. If you're going to fly into a penny trap, you have to shoot the trap first or it will kill you. Okay, great tip. Always break penny traps. No one does it in these ranks, and it's why Penny is played so much in these ranks. Penny is the worst tank in the game, no doubt about it. Why is she good in low ranks? Well, because nobody knows no one shoots the tank. All you have to do is shoot this trap, and you'll kill Penny every time. Super dangerous. Break the trap. When Penny ults as well, you have to break the trap, otherwise these spiders popping out here will run across the trail that she leaves. So you need to be breaking the trap.
Cowards. Attack now or never.
We are undefeatable!
not destroy this nest. Here's this life.
I am ready to put on a show! The current score is 0-2. Time to switch things up, including which side you're on. You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
Okay. So, not bad, right? Like, it's not a terrible first round. But it's just quite inconsistent. And it's just a lot of times you could be carrying a lot harder. I'll go over notes at the end on what everything you need to be doing is. Again, you're sat on a main angle. This is okay. It's not too bad at the start. But I would say it would be better to start up here and start shooting into their spawn and then bird to your teammates.
Help get that vehicle to its destination.
Why would I need healing?
This is a good off angle. You see how you're on an off angle, not a main angle? It's great. Best thing to do on Hela.
Find that soul. Resistance is futile.
This is what I like to see. This is a off angle and it will win you games by just flanking like this.
Gates of hell.
This is a very slight flank. It's barely even a flank. It's just a little angle difference to the main one.
Find that soul.
I don't think that's the one.
This is great.
Who could fight the goddess?
You see, if you do this in these ranks, like you've just done, you just farm the supports on angles, it will A, piss the supports off and make them play worse, but B, just win you games. Now you're getting dove and you've thrown the stun too early again, okay? Make sure you're using this stun when people are actually on you and close to you.
Find that soul.
Just don't waste cooldowns like this. Okay, literally basic tip for every character in the game, don't use your cooldowns unless you have to. You didn't need to stun there and you didn't need to use daggers. And then you fucked your bird up. And this wouldn't have happened if you knew. You took the 3 steps. You got the first 2 right. Relevant angle. You paid attention to who you were playing against. You knew the Iron Fist was coming. So those were 2 of the checklist. But the third is, where's my escape? And you didn't plan that. Where is your escape here? Well, you would stay up here. You'd let the Iron Fist come close to you. You'd start shooting him at close range. And then you would either bird up to the high ground up here. Or you would bird through here. Right, and you could come here and you can break this here. This is a breakable wall, by the way. So you could bird up here, break this wall, and there's a health pack just here. But that might be too complicated for you, and because you know it's hard to remember a lot of stuff at once. I'm telling you a lot of things. So you could just bird through here, grab the health pack, start fighting, and then grab the next health pack, start fighting, and you know rotate your way all the way through these health packs. There's a lot of health packs in Marvel Rivals. And this is where you would need your stun, right? I mean, look, you've got divers on you. This is where you would want to stun. And you would have lived. And you would have had daggers, okay? If you get dove, you can either you can literally put the daggers at your feet. On the person or just at your feet. And they can't come close to you because the daggers will blow up in their faces. I can show you something else at the end. Which is how you can use the daggers and the stun to kill divers even easier.
You're halfway there. Keep going. Shields up. A little help, please.
This time I need healing.
Okay, you can't do anything here. You have to go through that way, or you'd have to jump backwards and bird over the top. But there's nowhere to go here, yeah. Again, lots of rush shots, okay? You have good aim, you don't need to rush.
Here's this life.
Enemies on approach.
Okay, that Spider-Man is lagging. See, if you didn't take any unnecessary shots, you could have carried this. Straight away. This is why hell is so important to be patient. Right? That Spider-Man would have been dead here. Right, look. Don't rush. Wait. I'll tell you when I would have shot. Bounces, shoot him. Right? Predictable movement. Always shoot in predictable movement. He's going straight up in a line because he's hit the bounce pad. That's a free kill. He's dead now. Okay? He's dead now. You'd still have bullets. Iron Fist. You see him down there? 1 health. Right? You've been patient with your shots. Imagine you were ready for it. He should also be dead right now.
Almost there. Don't turn back now.
Again, all of these shots are so rushed, okay? Take a moment, pick a target. Now, personally, I'm picking Mantis or Luna here, or just any squishy. Ideally, Mantis or Luna. And just shoot them, okay?
Distance is
Because you're rushing a lot.
With the amazing
I am ready to
Spider-Man!
put on a show.
Every shot is rushed.
Hell unleashed.
Rise, my friend!
When I rise, they fall.
You're even rush. Look. This is going to be the biggest thing you're going to have to work on. You need to stop rushing everything. Okay, so if we watch this Luna, it should just be free 2 shots. Ready? Look at her. You rushed it on the group. Look at her again. Okay. Now you can see that she's going to walk forwards here, right? You can tell by her body she's walking forwards because her whole body's leaning forwards. Comes forwards. It needs to be right in front of her. When you shoot people on Hela ult, always shoot the way that they are facing. Never shoot behind them, okay? Because they move much slower walking backwards than they do moving forwards. So if you shoot them forwards, in front of them, they can't run away from it because backing up is slower. But if you shoot behind them, they can sprint forwards and it'll do a lot less damage, as you can see here. Again, that's rushed. You were not aiming at her when you shot that one.
Find that sword. Resistance is futile. Double kill. As expected.
Guys, it's just
Enemies on approach.
Behold that child.
Bad bird. Okay. Remember, you've just killed the Luna. What do you need to be doing? Right? There's only 2 people left. Where are you sat right now? A main angle, right? You don't get much value being here. You should hit this bounce pad and play up on the high ground. And again, what have you also not done? Right? Part of the 3 things on the checklist, have an escape plan. Whenever you're playing the game, you need to know where you want to bird. If you'd have done that, you wouldn't have birded into a wall and probably, I assume you died to the magic. If you'd just birded up here, you probably could have killed the magic just shooting down like this. But you didn't plan, and again, you panicked and you rushed.
Pulse charge.
Look, you don't even know where you are. This is why it's so important to plan, okay? Stun, 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 stun. You could have killed her if you stunned. It's just... yeah. When you're against the magic, you have to wait till she's on you, and you have to stun and then headshot. So look, ready? Don't waste these shots, okay? Not shooting anything. So wait. This is now stun. It will cancel that, so don't worry, you won't die to it. You stun, headshot, she's dead. Always aim for the feet when you stun. Always throw it at the ground. Never throw it at the body. Always throw it at the ground.
Shields up.
Waste of cooldown. Yeah, don't use cooldowns, you don't need to. I know it might seem like nothing and I might be being petty, but you know, it's just the honest truth is there's no point to waste cooldowns.
Time. Hang in.
Because now what's dangerous is you're peeking this. If any of them realize they could dive you and you wouldn't have your stun or bird available. This is too early to be going in, okay? This again, what's our free checklist, okay? It's timing, position, escape. Now what is this timing? Very bad, very bad. Why? You're down 2 teammates right now. 2 of your teammates aren't there. And the rest of your team doesn't even exist right now. You just have an Adam Warlock. So as soon as you take this fight, what can the enemy team do? For free, not a care in the world, they can run at you. Why can they do that? Because they've got no one else. They don't care. They can run straight at you and there's no consequence because there's no one else alive really. So this Spider-Man and thingy can just literally mow you down, and you don't have your escape. You just birded up and you wasted your stun. So not only are you on like really bad timing, you don't have a way of escaping and you don't have a way of protecting yourself. So shooting right now is really bad. Always wait, okay? Patience is key, literally key in this game. There is no point engaging right now. What you should do instead is wait, let the payload push up, right? And once your team then starts fighting, you would then take a fight. You would then take an angle once the team fight has begun. And then you would, good timing, go in on the supports, distract them, stop the tanks from getting healing, and so on, just as explained before.
Reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
A brief taste of hell. I specialize in griefs and revenge. I am barely harmed.
That's very unlucky. I mean, it's not unlucky, but, like... Obviously, try to bird to high grounds like this. Always try and bird to high grounds or safety, or the health pack here. You may need to learn the health packs as well.
I don't think that's welcoming committee.
That happens to the best of us when we're learning the game, so don't worry about it.
You're halfway there.
Interesting.
Keep going.
Invisible?
Some assistance, please.
Okay, so I'll give you a quick crash course on Venom. In fact, I'll do that in the practice range after, actually. So watch to the end, because I've got a few things to show you in the practice range. Venom is not a frontline tank. Venom fights supports. You always want to be on the supports on Venom.
I am ready to put on a show.
Pointless. There is no point Venom ulting a support ult unless you have a damage boost. If you have a Luna damage boost, then it's worth it because you can kill through it, but this is pointless. They're just going to out-heal it.
We are undefeatable.
Just literally grapple anything close to you like this, and you will go flying. You don't need to go for some crazy far away. Honestly, the closer the better. Literally grappling to this will send you all the way up in the air.
Anyone?
Vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
Okay. This is just bad target priority, okay? You will kill her, and that's fine. But again, remember your job is always to be on the supports. That was very nice.
Pulse charge. Fire.
Again, rushing, okay? You don't need to rush anything. And wait till your crosshairs on them. I think you have a massive issue with your aim is you're rushing your aim. You're clicking the button before your crosshairs even on them.
Next will be the key to solving our crisis.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man.
It's also good to shoot melee on Venom. It's always be shoot melee. Only if they're close to you, obviously. If they're in melee range, shoot melee. I will teach you how to Venom. I mean, this is fine. It's not bad. This is good gameplay. It's just there's a whole nother place that you need to be playing on Venom. I'll show you it though, and it will get you to a really high rank. Just so you know, you can jump off of the cart and slam. Or just jump, like, I'm not seeing you slam a lot. I don't think you know this, but you can just jump off of even the smallest high ground and it will let you slam.
I am ready to put on a show.
Yeah, I missed the shield, but unlucky. This is good though, it's good target priority. Always good to be on the supports. It's always your job as Venom. But again, the aims are being rushed and you're not using your cooldowns properly. Right now, you need to be jumping up here and then diving on her. The slam is his strongest thing. Or, oh, I mean, all of Venom is a strong character. Oh, well, that's the game. Okay. I'm going to go into practice range whilst I talk about some things that I would like to see you start doing. So, let's start with Hela, probably, I think. Oh. Okay. So, with Hela, I wanted to show you, like, how you can deal with divers. And there's just a cool thing you can do on Hela that you don't need to do all the time, but it's still pretty cool, is if you put the mines down here, you can stun them into it. Like that. So this little movement thing here, where the character moves, they will always go to wherever you place it. Now why is that good? Well, it means if you put the mines down somewhere, you can try to drag them into it. And that can just give you a little bit more damage. Another combo on Hela would be this one, which is just basically that. So it is shoot melee, stun, shoot melee. It requires no headshots. Now obviously headshots will help. Okay, that's generally Hela. Remember on Hela what we talked about is A, don't rush your shots. Okay, don't try to be flashy and go for like crazy flicks and stuff like this, you know, you don't need to do all that. And you know, don't rush your shots, okay? Just wait, be patient. Like look, be patient, line it up. You don't need to do anything like too crazy. Take off angles as well. Let's say this is the main angle like here, then you'd want to be where they aren't facing you, like this. It's also easy to headshot people when they aren't facing you. One other thing I always teach my students is simply slicing the pie. It's just a term, and it just means try and isolate your 1v1s, okay? Let's say I'm looking at a whole team of people here. If I stand like this, instead of looking at all of those people there, I'm just looking at her. Okay, I'm just cutting my angle up so I can just isolate 1 kill, right? And then 2 kill, and then again 3 kill. And you see how I'm like reducing how much they can see me so I don't take a lot of damage and I can take the angle longer without actually reducing my value. Okay, because obviously I could be standing here and trying to kill all of them, but they're all just going to shoot me. So it's way better to split the pie up and take this angle here, where you can still just get value. You just go 1 by 1 through their team. Now, that's Hela. Off angles, okay. Timing, we've already gone over timing, but I will go over it again at the end of this video. Let's go on to Venom that we saw quickly. There's a lot I want to show you on Venom. So, the Venom playstyle is it's quite simple. All you really do is you climb up, right? And then you look for the supports. Let's say those are the supports. You jump off, you dive, L2, start shooting them, and that's it.
Double kill.
Right, and because you use a wall climb and dive instead of a grapple and dive, whenever you get low, you can shields, right? And then if you get really low, you can grapple out. Now, the reason that is better than the grapple then dive is because if I grapple in, right, and I dive, and suddenly I start getting beamed, I'm on like a 10-second cooldown for my grapple, and I can't get out. So that is why it is, every single time you go in, it is go in, right, wall climb, so wall climb up to a high ground, dive on the supports, left trigger, right, grapple them, and kill them, and then whenever you get low, shields, and then grapple out. That's all you do. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. An important thing, which I want to see you doing, which is super broken right now, is the grapple ultimate tech. And that is simply, you grapple like this, you go into your ult, and you snap your ultimate when the grapple explodes, or when the cellular corrosion explodes, because you can see it explodes over time. Just watch. See how the coils get bigger and bigger, and then they eventually explode. That damage with the ultimate damage will one-shot. So the general goal, right, when you're on Venom, is you want to be grappling. So you can use the grapple for this, like grapple like so, dive, and that's it. Okay, you just wait for them to explode and you snap your ultimate as the, I don't know what to call them, but the corrosions are going to blow up. So they're going to blow up. Get used to that timing, and when they do, that's when you snap. So it's literally rinse and repeat. You just go in on the support, shoot, wall climb, and then when you get your ult, you just do that. And that's all Venom is. It's really as simple as that. The only thing that differs a good from a bad Venom is A, aim, and B, timing, okay? Obviously, if I go in before my entire team is fighting them, then the entire team is going to look at me. It's very similar. This applies to every character, and that's timing. The same as Hela. There is no point going in. Wait until your team is fighting, okay? Wait until their tanks are distracted on your team. Then go on the supports, grapple, shoot, and do your thing. And then grapple out. The only last thing as well is obviously, I want to see you shoot meleeing. Okay, it's always helpful to just always get a melee in there after you shoot, like this. Very important. And then also, if you are contesting the payload, you can literally jump on it, jump off, and dive like that, and that's also very helpful. And you don't need to look up all the way in the sky to grapple. Okay, you don't need to do that. I'll just give you an example. You could literally grapple here, and you see you still get a lot of height, even if it isn't that big high up. So you can literally just like that, and you still go miles up in the air. So don't worry about aiming all the way up and then missing like this all the time. And that was that. That's the text for Venom and Hela. I'm going to show you now. I'm just going to quickly go over the final points, so you can just skip to the end whenever you need to remember them. Number one is the checklist, the free checklist for Hela. When you're playing the game, you need to set up, you have to make sure you have three things. Number one, can I escape from the angle I'm taking? Okay, do I know, can I take my bird and will it get me to either my backline, cover, or a health pack? Number two, is this angle relevant? Okay, can this angle get me any value? Okay, because if I'm sat here,
You need not fear
right,
me. If you do
and I'm
not
like
oppose
just
me.
sat on the main angle here, and this is what I'm looking at. This is my team, this is the bots, right? I'm not going to do anything. These are tanks, it's pointless, right? I'm on this angle, sure I'm safe, I've got that part of the checklist down, but what's the point? I'm just going to be doing no damage, it's going to get healed all the time. So if I'm shooting tanks, the supports are just going to heal it. So what would be way better would be to take a good off angle, right, that isn't where my team is, so that's my team, and I want an angle like this,
As expected.
Double kill.
okay?
That's three.
That is that, okay? It's just an angle that can see good targets, like supports and squishies. So you want to be on an angle that's safe, has good targets to shoot, it isn't just tanks, and the most important thing really is timing. Okay, if I go on this angle right now, and my team is all not fighting, they can all look at me and hunt me down. because there's no disadvantage to them, okay? Them turning around and chasing me doesn't do anything because my team isn't even in the fight yet, so they're losing nothing. So what do you want to do? You want to go in once your tanks are fighting, okay? Once your team is actually fighting the enemy team and they're all distracted in the fight, that is when you jump in and pounce like an assassin pretty much. What you don't want to do though is take this too seriously, and then by the time you do jump in, your team's already lost the fight. Because guess what happens when your team's lost the fight? It's too late and they're all going to turn and hunt you down again. That's that. That is the free checklist. It's all you have to do on Hela. It's very simple. Next thing, aim. Do not rush your shots, okay? Line them up. Because I saw you sometimes just shooting around like this. Hela only has 8 bullets. You can't afford to be doing that. Okay? Don't panic when you go for the shots. Another thing I saw is you waste your cooldowns a lot. You just chuck this everywhere. Not only were you not even using it enough, right? You need to keep this going all the time. But you were just chucking it everywhere. And you didn't really use it when there was anybody there. What you want to be doing is using it on tanks or on supports so that it blows up in the backline. And you're stunned, don't start lobbing it around. Okay? If you're struggling to kill a support on your flank, okay, it's really good when you take flanks actually. Let's say this is Luna. You can stun and make them stand still. That's a good use. And another good use is to save it for when you get dove, okay? And throw it at the feet of the person, okay? Because trying to hit the body like this can be hard, right? But what happens if I just look at the floor? Suddenly the area gets huge. So that's really important. And that's really all it is. If you can hit headshots, that's nice, but you don't need to worry about it too much, okay? Focus on just hitting shots in general. You want to be getting something like maybe like a 45 plus accuracy with like a 11 to 12 plus crit to know that you're doing like pretty good. That's Hela. And that's it really. I mean, when we talked about Venom, I've already showed you everything you need to be doing on him. And on Hela, it's simply keep those 3 checklists going, okay? Make sure you are doing everything. When you take the angles, you have your timing, your position is, you know, relevant, and you have an escape plan. Final thing, last but not least, is in your ultimate. Aim in front of the people, not behind them. And make sure that you tell your supports when your ult is running out so that they can heal you when you drop, okay? So 3, 2, 1, heal me. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this. If there's any, you know, if you want any more sessions, let me know. We can always do a one-to-one session in a video call. You know, I'm happy to do these. I have a lot of free time, so you send me a replay and I will watch it. What I usually do with students is I tend to take 1 VOD a week, and then on the weekends we'll always meet up for a session and I will watch them play. That's what works best, but let me know what you thought of this. I'm going to deliver it on Fiverr. If you could leave a review, that helps a bunch. Hope you enjoyed.